Welcome back to USA Historical Coins PK. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of rare US coins, especially the legendary Wheat Penny series and a few surprise treasures that collectors dream about. From the iconic designs and mint marks like D, S, and P, to coins that look ordinary but can be worth thousands or even millions. This is where history meets hidden wealth. So before you spend that old coin, you might want to check twice. It could be a fortune in your hands. Let's jump into the top 4 most valuable wheat pennies and rare US coins you should know about. Top 1. The 1942, no mint mark, Lincoln Wheat Penny is one of the most famous and widely collected American coins from the World War II era. This coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint in the United States of America, and because Philadelphia pennies at that time normally did not carry a mint mark, collectors identify the coin simply by the absence of a letter under the date. The front side of the coin, called the obverse, shows President Abraham Lincoln facing right, along with the word liberty, the motto, "In God We Trust," and the year 1942. The reverse side displays 2 wheat stalks surrounding the words, 1 cent, and United States of America, which is why these coins are commonly known as wheat pennies or wheat cents. The design was created by Victor David Brenner and remained in use from 1909 until 1958. The 1942 issue is historically important because it was the final full year before the United States switched to steel pennies in 1943 to conserve copper for World War II military production. LincolnWheatPenny.com. The 1942 no-mint mark penny was struck in extremely large numbers. The Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 657,796,000 examples, making it one of the more common wheat pennies available to collectors today. Despite the high mintage, many people still enjoy collecting these coins because they represent a significant moment in American history during wartime. The coin's metal composition consists of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it the classic reddish-brown appearance that collectors admire. It weighs 3.11 grams and measures 19 millimeters in diameter. Because of the high copper content, some collectors also value the coin for its metal composition, although melting US coins for metal is illegal. Most circulated examples are inexpensive, but coins in high mint state grades with strong red color can become surprisingly valuable. LincolnWheatPenny.com. Many new collectors mistakenly believe that a missing mint mark means the coin is rare or contains an error. However, for Lincoln cents made in Philadelphia before 2017, having no mint mark was completely normal. Only pennies from Denver carried a D, and coins from San Francisco carried an S. Therefore, a 1942 penny without a mint mark simply means it came from Philadelphia. Online marketplaces sometimes show unrealistic prices for ordinary circulated coins, which causes confusion among beginners. Most ordinary circulated 1942 no-mint mark wheat pennies are worth only a few cents to a few dollars, depending on condition. Collectors and coin communities often explain that the absence of a mint mark alone does not make the coin rare. Reddit. Condition is the most important factor in determining the value of a 1942 wheat penny. Coins that spent decades in circulation usually show where on Lincoln's hair, cheek, coat, and the wheat stalks on the reverse. These worn examples are common and inexpensive. However, coins that remained uncirculated preserve sharp details and bright mint luster. Numismatists use grading systems ranging from poor, P1, to mint state, MS70. A heavily circulated 1942 penny might sell for only 5 to 25 cents, while a bright red uncirculated example graded MS65 or higher may sell for several dollars or more. Exceptional examples with almost perfect surfaces can command much higher premiums at auction. USA Coin Book. Collectors also search for special varieties and minting errors among 1942 wheat pennies. Some rare doubled die varieties exist, especially among San Francisco issues, where letters or numbers appear doubled because of a die production mistake. Other possible errors include off-center strikes, die cracks, clipped planchets, or lamination errors where the metal surface begins peeling. While ordinary 1942 Philadelphia pennies are common, genuine error coins can be worth significantly more depending on rarity and condition. Many collectors use magnifying glasses or microscopes to inspect details around the date, the word liberty, and the motto, "In God We Trust," for signs of doubling or unusual features. FindBullionPrices.com. Historically, the 1942 wheat penny represents the final year before one of the most famous changes in American coinage. During World War II, copper became critically important for military equipment such as shell casings and electrical wiring. Because of this shortage, top 2. The 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny, with no mint mark, is one of the most historically important coins in American numismatic history. This coin was produced by the Philadelphia Mint in the United States of America during the final years of World War II. Because coins made in Philadelphia during that era normally carried no mint mark, the absence of a letter below the date is completely normal and identifies the coin as a Philadelphia issue. The obverse, or front side, features President Abraham Lincoln facing right, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. Above Lincoln appears the motto, "In God We Trust," while the word liberty is positioned to the left of Lincoln's portrait and the date, 1944, appears on the right. The reverse side shows 2 wheat stalks surrounding the words 1 cent and United States of America, giving rise to the nickname Wheat Penny or Wheat Cent. The design was used from 1909 through 1958 and remains one of the most beloved coin designs in United States history. LincolnCenturySource.com. The year 1944 was extremely significant because it marked the return of copper pennies after the temporary steel cent experiment of 1943. During World War II, copper was desperately needed for wartime supplies such as ammunition, electrical wiring, and military equipment. To conserve copper, the U.S. Mint produced zinc-coated steel pennies in 1943. However, the steel cents caused many problems. They rusted easily, were confused with dimes, and were unpopular with the public. As a result, in 1944 the Mint returned to producing bronze cents, using recycled shell casings from military ammunition. This means many 1944 pennies were literally made from recycled war materials, giving the coin a direct connection to World War II history. Collectors often find this wartime connection fascinating because the coin represents both American industry and military sacrifice during one of the most important conflicts in world history. PCGS.com. The 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny had an enormous production total. The Philadelphia Mint struck approximately 1,435,400,000 coins, making it one of the highest mintage wheat pennies ever produced. Because so many were made, the coin remains common today, especially in circulated grades. Millions of Americans used these pennies in everyday commerce during the 1940s and 1950s, buying food, newspapers, transportation, and household goods. The coin's composition returned to the traditional bronze alloy of 95% copper with 5% tin and zinc, and each coin weighs approximately 3.11 grams with a diameter of 19 millimeters. Many collectors enjoy the rich reddish-brown appearance of original 1944 cents, especially examples that still retain bright red mint luster after decades of storage. UserCoinbook.com. Many beginners in coin collecting believe that a no-mint mark penny must be rare, but in the case of 1944 pennies, this is not true. Philadelphia cents normally lacked mint marks, while Denver coins used a D and San Francisco coins used an S. Therefore, the absence of a mint mark simply identifies the coin as coming from Philadelphia. Ordinary circulated 1944 no-mint mark pennies are very common, and usually worth only a few cents to a few dollars, depending on wear and appearance. However, collectors still value these coins because of their historical importance, wartime connection, and classic wheat penny design. Higher-grade examples with original red surfaces and minimal contact marks can be worth considerably more than worn brown examples. NGCcoin.com. The word liberty on the front of the coin is an important detail for collectors. On heavily worn coins, parts of liberty may become weak or partially missing due to years of circulation. When collectors describe a coin as having full liberty, they mean all letters remain visible and strong, suggesting the coin experienced less wear. Full liberty is often one indicator of a higher-grade circulated coin. Coins with clear wheat lines on the reverse, sharp details in Lincoln's hair and coat, and full liberty usually attract more collector interest than heavily worn examples. Nevertheless, full liberty alone does not automatically make the coin rare or highly valuable. Professional grading considers the entire condition of the coin, including luster, strike, surface preservation, and color. The 1944 wheat penny also became famous because of one of the greatest mint eras in American coin collecting history, the 1944 steel cent. Although the mint officially returned to bronze cents in 1944, a tiny number of leftover steel planchets from 1943 accidentally entered production. These rare 1944 steel pennies are among the most valuable Lincoln cents ever discovered, with some selling for tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction. Because of this famous era, many people test their 1944 pennies with magnets. A normal bronze 1944 penny will not stick to a magnet, while a genuine steel cent will. However, top 3. The 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny, with no mint mark, is a historic American 1-cent coin produced shortly after the end of World War II. This coin was minted at the Philadelphia Mint in the United States of America, and because Philadelphia pennies during that period normally carried no mint mark, the absence of a letter beneath the date is completely standard. The front side of the coin, known as the obverse, features a portrait of President Abraham Lincoln facing right. Above his head appears the famous national motto, "In God We Trust," while the word liberty is located to the left of Lincoln's image and the date, 1946, appears on the right. The reverse side displays 2 wheat ears surrounding the words 1 cent and United States of America, which is why these coins are known as wheat pennies or wheat cents. The coin was designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, and the wheat penny design remained in circulation from 1909 until 1958, before being replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Reverse in 1959. PCGS.com. The year 1946 was an important time in American history because it marked the first full year after World War II ended. Millions of American soldiers were returning home. Factories were transitioning from wartime production back to civilian manufacturing, and the United States was entering a new economic era. The 1946 wheat penny circulated during this major historical transition, making it a symbol of post-war America. Many of these pennies passed through the hands of workers, veterans, families, and businesses during a period of rebuilding and economic growth. Because the coin was produced just after the war, collectors often associate it with the beginning of modern American prosperity following years of global conflict. Holding a 1946 penny today can feel like holding a small artifact from a transformative moment in world history. History.com. The 1946 no-mint mark wheat penny was struck in very large numbers. The Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 991,655,000 coins that year, making it one of the more common wheat pennies available today. Due to the high mintage, circulated examples are still frequently found in old collections, coin jars, estate boxes, and bank rolls. The coin was made from a bronze alloy consisting of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. It weighs approximately 3.11 grams and measures 19 millimeters in diameter. The high copper content gives the coin its classic reddish or brownish appearance, depending on how well it has been preserved over time. Collectors often admire the warm color and vintage appearance of original wheat pennies, especially examples that still retain their bright red mint luster decades after being produced. Usercoinbook.com. One of the most misunderstood aspects of the 1946 penny is the missing mint mark. Many people believe that a penny without a mint mark must be rare or valuable, but for coins made in Philadelphia before modern times, no mint mark was entirely normal. Pennies minted in Denver carried a D, while those minted in San Francisco used an S. Therefore, the lack of a mint mark on a 1946 penny simply identifies it as a Philadelphia issue. Ordinary circulated examples are generally inexpensive and may only be worth a few cents to a few dollars, depending on condition. However, collectors continue to value them because of their age, historical background, and connection to the classic wheat penny series. Coins in exceptional condition with original red color and minimal where can command significantly higher prices in the numismatic market. Encoin.coth. The word liberty on the obverse is especially important to collectors when evaluating condition. Over years of circulation, the raised parts of the design gradually wear down. On heavily circulated coins, some letters in liberty may appear weak or partially missing. When a collector says a 1946 penny has full liberty, it means every letter remains visible and sharp. This usually suggests the coin experienced lighter circulation and may receive a higher grade. Collectors also examine Lincoln's hair, cheek, coat details, and the wheat lines on the reverse to determine overall preservation. A coin with full liberty, strong wheat stalk details, and original surface luster is usually considered much more desirable than a heavily worn example. Still, full liberty alone does not automatically make the coin rare. The entire condition of the coin must be considered together. Professional coin grading is one of the most important factors affecting the value of a 1946 wheat penny. Numismatists use a grading scale ranging from poor, P1, to mint state, MS70. Coins that circulated heavily may grade very good, VG, fine, F, or very fine, VF, while coins with little or no wear can grade extremely fine, XF, about uncirculated, AU, or mint state, MS. Copper coins are also classified by color into brown, BN, red-brown, RB, and red, RD. Fully red coins are often the most valuable because top 4. The 1951 D. Lincoln Wheat Penny is an important and widely collected coin from the United States of America. This 1-cent coin was produced at the Denver Mint, which is identified by the small d mint mark located beneath the date on the front side of the coin. The obverse of the penny features President Abraham Lincoln facing right, along with the national motto, "In God We Trust," above his portrait, the word liberty to the left, and the date, 1951, to the right. The reverse side displays 2 wheat stalks surrounding the words 1 cent and United States of America, which is why collectors call these coins wheat pennies or wheat cents. The wheat penny design was created by sculptor Victor David Brenner and remained in use from 1909 through 1958. The 1951 D issue belongs to the final decade of the famous wheat cent series, before the Lincoln Memorial reverse replaced it in 1959. PCGS.com. The 1951 D penny was struck during a period of strong economic growth in post-war America. The United States was experiencing industrial expansion, population growth, and rising consumer spending after World War II. Coins like the 1951 D wheat penny circulated heavily during this era, passing through grocery stores, restaurants, movie theaters, public transportation systems, and countless small businesses across the country. Because pennies were still very important in everyday commerce, the United States Mint produced enormous numbers of cents each year. The Denver Mint alone struck approximately 625,355,000 Lincoln cents in 1951, making the coin relatively common today. Despite the high production numbers, many collectors still appreciate the 1951 D penny because it represents a classic period in American history and belongs to one of the most beloved coin series ever produced. UserCoinbook.com. The composition of the 1951 D wheat penny consists of 95% copper with 5% tin and zinc, giving the coin its traditional bronze appearance. It weighs approximately 3.11 grams and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. Because of the high copper content, the coin originally displayed a bright reddish-orange mint color when freshly struck. Over decades of circulation and exposure to air, many coins gradually toned to red-brown or dark brown shades. Collectors pay close attention to color because copper coins are highly sensitive to oxidation. Professional grading companies classify copper cents into 3 color categories: brown, BN, red-brown, RB, and red, RD. Fully red examples retaining original mint color are usually the most valuable and desirable among collectors, especially in higher mint state grades. Ink Significa. The D mint mark on the 1951 penny identifies the coin as a product of the Denver Mint in Colorado. Mint marks are important in American coin collecting because different mints often produce different quantities and varieties of coins. On Lincoln Wheat Pennies, the mint mark appears directly below the date. A coin without a mint mark from this era would normally indicate production at the Philadelphia Mint, while an S would indicate San Francisco. The Denver Mint became especially known for producing coins with strong strikes and durable details during the mid-20th century. Many 1951 D pennies display sharp lettering and strong wheat stalk details, making them attractive to collectors who appreciate well-struck coins. The word liberty on the obverse is one of the key features collectors examine when evaluating condition. Over time, circulation wear gradually weakens the raised parts of the design, especially Lincoln's hair, cheek, jawline, and the lettering. On heavily worn coins, some letters in Liberty may become faint or partially disappear. When collectors describe a 1951 D penny as having full liberty, they mean that all letters remain fully visible and clear. This generally indicates the coin has experienced lighter wear and may qualify for a higher grade. However, full liberty alone does not make the coin rare or extremely valuable. It is simply one important sign of better preservation. Collectors also inspect the wheat stalks on the reverse, looking for strong grain lines and minimal flattening from circulation. Condition is the most important factor affecting the value of a 1951 D Wheat penny. Numismatists use the Sheldon grading scale ranging from poor, P1, to mint state, MS70. Most circulated 1951 D pennies are common and inexpensive, often worth only a few cents above face value. Coins in fine, F, very fine, VF, or extremely fine, XF, condition remain affordable for most collectors. However, uncirculated examples with original mint luster can become much more valuable, especially in high mint state grades, such as MS65 or above. Coins with minimal marks, sharp strikes, and vibrant red surfaces command the highest prices. Because so many 1951 D pennies were saved in rolls and collections, lower uncirculated grades are common, but truly superb gem quality examples are significant.